The massive Varaxian warship Eternal Dawn emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Sol system, its crystalline hull refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. High Admiral Nexus Vax stood motionless on the command deck, all four of his eyes fixed on the main viewport as Earth came into view. According to every historical record, this should have been a dead world, the abandoned cradle of humanity, deserted centuries ago when their sun began to fail. Instead, a pristine blue jewel hung in space before them. Impossible, Vax whispered, his scaled skin shifting colors with agitation. Run the scans again. His science officer, Lita, worked quickly at her station, her elongated fingers dancing across holographic controls. Confirmed, Admiral. The star is stable, showing no signs of the documented instability. The planet's biosphere is not only intact but thriving. These readings suggest deliberate atmospheric engineering on a massive scale. Vax's secondary hearts began beating faster as the implications sank in. Every spacefaring race knew the story. 500,000 years ago, humanity had fled their dying world in primitive vessels, scattering across the galaxy as refugees. The Varaxian Empire had even granted them sanctuary on several worlds, viewing them as harmless primitives worthy of pity. Multiple structures detected in orbit, Lita reported, her voice tight with confusion. They appear to be defensive installations. Before Vax could respond, space itself seemed to ripple around them. Massive stations phased into existence, appearing from absolutely nothing. They were elegant constructions of dark metal and pulsing energy fields, clearly of human design, but far beyond anything the Varaxians had ever attributed to the species. "Sir," his tactical officer barked, "we're being scanned. These installations, their power readings are off our scales." A communication request pinged their systems. Vax hesitated only briefly before accepting. The hologram that materialized on his bridge showed a human female in a sleek black uniform. Her bearing was unmistakably military, her expression coolly professional. "This is Commander Sarah Chen of Earth Defense Command. You have entered restricted space. State your purpose." Vax fought to keep his scales from flickering with shock. "This is High Admiral Nexus Vax of the Varaxian Empire. We came expecting to study ruins. Our records indicate." "Your records indicate what we wanted them to indicate, Admiral." Chen's smile held no warmth. "Humanity never fled Earth. We simply let the galaxy believe what it wanted to believe." The implications staggered him. 500,000 years of deception. Impossible. We've seen your refugee settlements, your primitive tools, carefully crafted props in the greatest misdirection ever attempted. Chen interrupted. "Tell me, Admiral, did your empire ever wonder why those refugee settlements were spread in such a precise pattern across the galaxy? Did anyone ever analyze those primitive tools at the quantum level?" More stations were appearing now, forming a defensive grid around the Eternal Dawn. Vax noticed with growing unease that each installation had weapon ports aligned perfectly with his ship's vital systems. "But why?" he managed to ask. "Because, Admiral, sometimes the best defense isn't a show of force. It's ensuring your potential adversaries never realize you are a threat at all." Chen's image flickered as new data streamed to the Varaxian ship. "These files contain a small demonstration of our actual technological capabilities. Your empire has treated humanity as a charity case for 500,000 years. We've used that time wisely." Vax watched in stunned silence as the data painted a picture of devastating clarity. The primitive human settlements were actually monitoring stations. Their simple tools contained quantum computers that had been gathering intelligence on every major civilization for millennia. Earth itself had never been dying. The entire exodus had been staged to hide the greatest military buildup in galactic history. "The question you should be asking, Admiral," Chen continued, "is why we're choosing this moment to reveal ourselves." As if in answer to her words, new contacts began appearing on their sensors. Ships were emerging from quantum darkness all across the system. human vessels of impossible size and capability. The Black Fleet of Earth, hidden for 500,000 years, was finally showing itself. And Vax realized, with cold certainty, that every story his people had ever told about humanity had been wrong. They weren't refugees. They weren't primitives. They were the most patient predators in galactic history. "Welcome to the real Earth, Admiral," Chen said softly. "Your empire has 24 hours to send appropriate diplomatic representation. After all, we have quite a lot to discuss about the future of galactic politics." As the communication ended, Vax stared at the growing fleet before him. 500 millennia of preparation were about to change everything, and he had the distinct feeling that humanity was just getting started. Project Director Maya Patel stood in the observation dome of Lunar Command, watching the Varaxian diplomatic shuttle approach Earth. Her dark eyes reflected the gleaming vessels of the Black Fleet as they escorted the alien craft, each warship a testament to centuries of hidden advancement. "They're scared," noted Admiral James Chen, joining her at the window. His weathered face showed the signs of age restoration treatments that the rest of the galaxy didn't know humans possessed. 500,000 years thinking we were harmless refugees, and now this. Maya nodded, remembering the day, 5 centuries ago, when she'd been appointed to oversee humanity's greatest deception. Operation Silent Guardian was always a gamble, James. Convincing the galaxy we were fleeing a dying star was just the beginning. The memories cascaded through her mind: the construction of the quantum-masked cities, the development of the cloaking technology that had hidden Earth's true face for 500,000 years, the careful placement of primitive settlements across the galaxy, each one a sophisticated monitoring station disguised as a refugee camp. Director Patel, her AI assistant, materialized beside them, its holographic form shimmering. "The Architect protocol records are ready for the diplomatic presentation." Maya turned from the window, her movements deliberate. "Show me." The air filled with holographic displays. The true history of humanity's master plan. She'd review it one final time before meeting the Varaxian diplomats. Historical record. The Architect protocol. Year 0. Initial contact with alien life. Earth calendar. 2157 CE. The images showed humanity's first encounter with the Drachnid Empire, a hostile species that had nearly destroyed Earth in humanity's relative infancy. The Drachnids had been repelled, but the lesson was clear. The galaxy was more dangerous than anyone had imagined. "Our greatest victory," Maya murmured, "was convincing them they'd won." The holograms shifted, showing the elaborate staging of Earth's evacuation. While the galaxy watched refugees flee in primitive ships, the real work had begun beneath the surface. Quantum engineering, dark matter manipulation, technologies that would have made the other races tremble, all developed in perfect secrecy. "The Varaxians are particularly interested in the refugee camps," the AI noted. Their preliminary scans finally detected the quantum matrices in the primitive tools. James chuckled darkly. 500,000 years of gathering intelligence, and they never thought to look closely at the simple stone knives their archaeologists kept finding. Each primitive artifact had been a masterpiece of deception: quantum computers disguised as imperfections in stone, transmission devices that looked like crude pottery, surveillance systems that appeared to be nothing more than cave paintings. The refugee camps themselves had been carefully positioned to create a galaxy-wide monitoring network. "Show me the defense grid activation sequence," Maya ordered. New holograms appeared, displaying the moment Earth's hidden defenses had revealed themselves to the Varaxian warship. The massive installations, invisible for millennia, represented only a fraction of humanity's true military might. "The diplomatic shuttle is on final approach," the AI announced. "The Varaxian High Council has sent their first speaker." Maya straightened her uniform. Black and silver, the colors of the hidden fleet. "Time to show them why we waited so long to reveal ourselves." "Are you sure about this part of the plan?" James asked quietly. "Once we tell them about the Harbinger signal." They need to know, Maya replied. The signal is getting stronger. That's why we chose this moment to emerge. What's coming from deep space is worse than anything the galaxy has imagined. We didn't spend 500,000 years hiding just to build a fleet. We were preparing for this. The diplomatic shuttle landed with precise grace, its crystalline hull reflecting Earth's sunlight. As the Varaxian diplomats emerged, Maya allowed herself a moment of pride. Humanity had played the long game, appearing weak when they were strong, primitive when they were advanced, scattered when they were unified. Now, as she prepared to reveal the true reason behind centuries of deception, Maya knew the real challenge was just beginning. The Harbinger signal was getting closer, and Earth's hidden fleet might be the galaxy's only hope for survival. Begin diplomatic protocols, she commanded. It's time to tell them about what's coming from the dark between galaxies, and why humanity chose to become the silent guardians of everything we all hold dear. The massive doors of Lunar Command slid open, revealing the truth of human advancement to alien eyes for the first time. The game of deception was ending. The game of survival was about to begin. First Speaker Zalvoros of the Varaxian High Council stood rigid with shock as the holographic display filled Lunar Command's diplomatic chamber. The data streaming before him defied everything his civilization had believed about humanity for 500,000 years. The Harbinger signal, Maya Patil explained, her voice steady, was first detected by our quantum arrays in what you know as the refugee settlement on Proxima II. We detected it 300,000 years ago, but its origin dates back far longer. The hologram showed a pattern of energy readings unlike anything in known space, a massive wave of something moving between the galaxies. The mathematical models predicted its arrival within the next solar year. Impossible, Zalvoros whispered, his scales shifting to a pale blue of disbelief. Our best scientific minds have been studying those settlements for centuries. We would have detected. No, Admiral Chen interrupted softly. You wouldn't have. Because the quantum processors hiding in those primitive tools were designed specifically to be invisible to your level of technology. The chamber darkened as a new hologram materialized, a real-time strategic display of human military assets across the galaxy. What had appeared to be scattered refugee camps now revealed themselves as points in an intricate defensive grid. Each settlement was a heavily armed fortress, hidden beneath layers of quantum deception. We needed to monitor every major civilization, Maya continued, not out of hostility, but necessity. The Harbinger signal. It doesn't just bring physical destruction. It brings something worse, something that turns species against each other. A new set of data appeared, historical records from civilizations so ancient they had been forgotten before the Varaxians achieved spaceflight. Each showed the same pattern, the signal's arrival, followed by devastating civil wars and conflicts between neighboring species. Your people's generosity in accepting human refugees wasn't just an act of kindness, Maya explained. It was unconsciously influenced by our quantum tech. We needed those monitoring stations in place, and we needed your civilization intact. Zalvoros' secondary hearts skipped a beat as the implications sank in. You've been protecting us all this time. Protecting everyone, Admiral Chen corrected. The refugee camps, early warning stations, the primitive tools, quantum stabilizers designed to resist the signal's influence. Even Earth's apparent abandonment was strategic. We needed potential enemies to look away while we built our real defenses. The chamber's displays shifted again, revealing massive structures hidden in dimensional pockets throughout the galaxy. The scale of human preparation was staggering. 3 days ago, Maya said quietly, the Harbinger signal changed. Show them, Admiral. The hologram zoomed in on a region of dark space between galaxy arms. Something vast was moving there, its edges defying normal spacetime. The mathematical models predicted its mass as greater than several star systems combined. That's why we revealed ourselves now, Maya continued. The signal isn't just a warning anymore. It's a herald, and what it's heralding has finally begun to arrive. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout Lunar Command. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, Commander Chen's daughter and Earth's youngest quantum strategist, burst into the chamber. Director Patel, the quantum arrays in the Carina sector just went dark, all 47 of them, simultaneously. Maya's face hardened. Show me. The strategic display shifted, revealing a spreading zone of darkness where human monitoring stations had gone silent. The void was expanding, consuming light and energy as it moved. First speaker, Maya turned to Xalvoros, her expression grave. You're about to witness why humanity spent 500,000 years preparing. The game of deception is over. Now we fight. She activated her neural link to Earth's defense grid. Throughout the galaxy, hidden human fortresses began powering up. The Black Fleet, larger than anyone had imagined, emerged from quantum darkness. 500 millennia of preparation were about to be put to the test. Send word to your High Council, Maya ordered. The galaxy needs to unite, not just against what's coming, but against what it does to us. We've spent 500,000 years building weapons to fight it. Now we need allies to wield them. As if in response to her words, the darkness in the Carina sector pulsed. The Harbinger signal's frequency shifted, and across nearby systems, alien civilizations began experiencing the first waves of unnaturally induced aggression. But humanity was ready. The quantum stabilizers hidden in those primitive tools activated, creating islands of clarity in a sea of growing chaos. The greatest deception in galactic history had never been about hiding from other species. It had been about preparing to save them all. Deep within Earth's quantum command center, Sarah Chen watched as the galactic map turned increasingly dark. The entity from between the galaxies, now codenamed Umbra, had consumed 3 more sectors since its first appearance. Each lost region represented thousands of worlds falling into chaos, their populations turning against each other in waves of unnaturally induced violence. Status report on the Quantum Stabilizer Network, Maya Patel demanded, her hologram flickering beside Sarah's station. 78% operational, Sarah responded, her fingers dancing across neural-linked interfaces. The primitive tools we scattered across refugee camps are holding back the worst of the psychic interference, but Umbra is adapting. It's learning to bypass our older defenses. Through the quantum feeds, they watched as another civilization, the Keras Collective, fell into civil war despite the stabilizer's influence. Their fleet, once unified, now turned their weapons against their own worlds. Director, Admiral Chen's voice cut through the command channel. The Varaxian High Council has finished their emergency session. First Speaker Xalvoros requests immediate communication. Maya nodded, and the diplomatic channel opened. Xalvoros' image appeared, his scales now a deep purple of determination. The Council has reviewed your evidence. The Varaxian Empire pledges its full military support to Earth's defense initiative. Send them the quantum shield specifications, Maya ordered. All of them. We need their shipyards converting their fleet as quickly as possible. Across the galaxy, humanity's hidden technological achievements were being shared with former benefactors who had once viewed them as primitive refugees. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The species that had been pitied for 500,000 years was now the galaxy's best hope for survival. Multiple quantum breaches detected. Sarah's instruments screamed warnings as space itself seemed to tear apart in the Carina sector. Umbra is. It's changing tactics. The holographic display showed something new emerging from the darkness. Not the formless void they'd been fighting, but shapes, massive constructs of living shadow that defied physics and sanity alike. By the first light, Xalvoros whispered, his scales paling. Those designs, they're corrupted versions of ships from every major civilization, as if it's been studying us, learning from us all this time. It has been. Maya's voice was grim. That's what the Harbinger signal really was, a probe, analyzing our technologies, our tactics, our weaknesses. Now it's using them against us. Sarah's quantum sensors detected a new pattern in the chaos. Director, the shadow constructs. They're not just copying our ship designs. They're corrupting the quantum frequency we use for FTL travel. If they succeed, all faster-than-light travel becomes impossible. Maya finished. The galaxy fragments, each system isolated, easy prey for what's coming. But humanity had planned for this too. Hidden throughout their refugee settlements were more than just monitoring stations and quantum stabilizers. Each primitive campsite concealed a node in the most extensive quantum entanglement network ever created. Execute Protocol Starbridge, Maya commanded. Authorization Paddle 007. Sarah's hands flew across her controls as the hidden network activated. Quantum tunnels sprang into existence between systems, creating FTL corridors that didn't rely on conventional spacetime. The refugee camps that had seemed so randomly placed now revealed their true purpose. They formed the backbone of an alternative FTL navigation system. Channel opening to the Varaxian home fleet, Sarah reported. Transmitting quantum shield modifications now. Through the command feeds, they watched as the Varaxian ships began to change. Their crystalline hulls absorbed the quantum modifications, transforming into something new. A hybrid of human and Varaxian technology that could resist Umbra's corruption. Multiple contacts. Sarah's sensors lit up as more ships appeared. Not just Varaxian vessels, but fleets from dozens of species. The Karis remnants, the Zorn hierarchy, the Meridian Collective, all responding to Earth's call for unity. We spent 500 millennia preparing for this moment. Maya addressed the gathered fleet commanders, her voice carrying across quantum channels. We hid our true nature not out of fear, but because we needed to prepare the galaxy for what was coming. Every primitive tool we left behind, every refugee camp we established, they were pieces of the largest defense system ever created. The shadow constructs surged forward, their corrupted forms a mockery of familiar ship designs. But they met something unexpected. A galaxy united, armed with humanity's hidden technologies, and ready to fight as one. All fleets. Maya's command rang clear across the quantum network. Execute Battle Plan Prometheus. Humanity's deception ends today. Our true purpose begins. The battle for survival was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. The combined fleet hung in formation at the edge of the Carina Void, a testament to unity forged in desperation. Thousands of ships from hundreds of species, their hulls gleaming with humanity's quantum modifications, faced the approaching wall of living darkness that was Umbra. Maya Patel stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship Deception's End, watching the tactical display as Sarah Chen coordinated the galaxy's largest military force ever assembled. The young quantum strategist's fingers danced across neural interfaces, connecting minds and machines across impossible distances through the network hidden in those seemingly primitive refugee camps. Final quantum shield synchronization complete, Sarah reported. All fleets showing green status. Through the quantum feed, first speaker Xalvoros's voice carried a note of awe. To think, we spent centuries pitying humanity, offering sanctuary to refugees who were actually our guardians. The greatest deception in history was also the greatest act of protection. The shadow constructs are advancing. Admiral Chen's voice cut through the channel. Multiple breach points detected. They're trying to isolate our formations. But humanity had spent 500,000 years preparing for this moment. As Umbra's forces attempted to disrupt conventional spacetime, they encountered something unexpected. Quantum corridors that had been waiting dormant since before most civilizations achieved spaceflight. Execute Final Protocol, Maya commanded. Authorization, Silent Guardian. Across the galaxy, in every primitive human settlement, in every simple tool left behind, in every crude artifact studied by alien archaeologists, quantum computers activated simultaneously. The largest distributed processing network ever created came online, its true purpose finally revealed. By the first light, Zalvoros whispered as his sensors registered the power surge. Those refugee camps, they're not just monitoring stations or quantum stabilizers. They're nodes in a galaxy-wide quantum entanglement web, Maya finished, capable of rewriting the fundamental laws of physics within its influence. We didn't just spend 500 millennia hiding, first speaker. We spent it turning the entire galaxy into one massive quantum weapon. The shadow constructs struck, their corrupted forms twisting reality itself. But they found themselves trapped in a web 500,000 years in the making. Every primitive camp, every simple tool, every position humanity had carefully selected. They formed a perfect geometric pattern across the galaxy. Sarah, Maya's voice was steady. Initialize the quantum cascade. Sarah's hands moved in a blur across her interfaces. Energy surged through the quantum web, each node activating in precise sequence. The galaxy itself seemed to pulse as space-time realigned according to humanity's design. Multiple quantum breaches. Sarah called out. It's being forced into normal space. The dimensional barriers are holding. The living darkness that had consumed entire sectors found itself trapped, forced to exist in a single reality where it could be fought. The shadow constructs, stripped of their ability to corrupt space-time, faced the combined might of a unified galaxy. All fleets, Maya's command rang across the quantum network. Execute Battle Plan Exodus. Show them why humanity spent 500 millennia preparing for this day. The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia to come. Ships from every civilization, armed with humanity's hidden technology, struck as one. The quantum web turned the very fabric of space against Umbra, while weapons 500,000 years in development tore through what had once seemed invincible. Hours later, as the last shadow construct dissolved under the combined fleet's assault, Maya stood in lunar command once more. The galactic map showed the void receding, consumed sectors beginning to stabilize as the quantum stabilizers restored order. The deception is finally over, she told the assembled alien leaders, both present and connected through quantum channels. But our work is just beginning. What we built in secret, we now offer openly, a unified defense network spanning the galaxy, ready to face whatever else lurks between the stars. First speaker Zalvoros, his scales now a deep gold of reverence, spoke for all. For 500,000 years, we thought we were helping scattered refugees. Instead, they were weaving a shield around us all, preparing for a threat we couldn't even imagine. Humanity didn't just save the galaxy, they redefined what it means to be its guardians. Sarah's quantum feeds showed celebrations erupting across thousands of worlds as the news spread. The refugee camps revealed their true nature as advanced defense installations. The primitive tools transformed into technological marvels, and humanity, at last, showed its real face to the galaxy. We kept the light burning in secret, Maya addressed the unified fleet, so that darkness would never claim our galaxy. Now, we guard it together, openly and proudly. The age of deception is over. The age of unity begins. As she spoke, Earth's quantum arrays detected new signals from the deep void between galaxies. Other things stirred out there, perhaps drawn by Umbra's defeat. But this time, the galaxy would face them united, armed with humanity's legacy of preparation and protection. The greatest deception in history had ended. The greatest alliance was just beginning.